What up, y'all? Welcome back to 1UPmang Game Reviews. I wanted to, in honor of the Super Mario Brothers movie, thought I'd make a quick tier list here, just ranking all most of the mainline games within the series, just in honor of the Super Mario Brothers movie just doing so well. So I thought it'd be a fun little video to do here. So I just wanted to start with a game in the mainline series, and then going into the most recent one. So for me here, and this is all just an opinion, it's all just for fun. So, different tier list or agree with mine, go ahead and let me know down below. But yeah, we're gonna start here with the first Super Mario Brothers for the Nintendo, the original Nintendo, the NES. I think for this one here, I'm gonna go with A tier here. So you can see here I've got S through C. I don't really think there's too many, at least in the mainline games that I've played, that are lower than that. I mean, I do feel like the series is very consistent. Obviously, there are lower spots, and everyone has like a different opinion, separate opinions. But this is going to be mine, and I've got a list here for games I haven't played. I've played most of the mainline series, but again, there are ones. Obviously, not everyone has played every game, so but yeah, I'm gonna go with A tier. It's the original one. I think it still holds up very well today. And A tier for NES. I would say I could even say close to S tier, but I think to be fair, I think there are other games in the series that are actually higher than this one. But I think this is pretty good for the start, so I'll go there. Now we actually have Super Mario Brothers 2, which is like the Japanese version, which is like the harder harder levels, I guess. I never played it, obviously, just being in the U.S. But I know some people have played it. I think they might have re-released it in the U.S., but I haven't played it, so we're gonna go with the Super Mario Brothers 2 of the United States version. So I think this one is actually better. Obviously, this is a very different game. It's Doki Doki Panic kind of thing, where they added the characters into to that series or into that video game. But I do think this game actually holds up really well. I think it's cool that you get to play as four different characters within the universe. But I do think that the different gameplay just makes it a little more interesting. So I'm gonna go there with that one. That might be a hot take on that, but I'm gonna go there. Super Mario Bros. 3. For me, this is actually definitely gonna be S tier. Actually, if I don't usually rank inside the tier list, but if I had to, I would definitely put it. Excuse me, right here. I do think it's better than Super Mario Brothers 2, but this one's actually the first game I really fell in love with within the series. But this is like one of the first games I actually played as a child, and so yeah, I mean Super Mario Brothers 3. I mean, what can you say? Like, there's not too much that hasn't already been said. I think it did what the first one did, but just elevated it and better. And also technology. So I think that was awesome. And Tanuki's suit, so many different aspects of this game that were really really honed in on this game. So yeah, that'll be S tier up here. Then we're gonna go Super Mario World. I mean, so with the Super Mario World, I never actually owned a Super Nintendo, but obviously most people had it. When I played it, I played it a lot, even though I never owned the console. But this game, along with the Donkey Kong series, actually, Killer Instinct, a lot of those games made me want to buy a Super Nintendo. And actually, probably still one of my favorite consoles of all time, and I still think it's one of the greatest consoles of all time. I never owned one, but eventually over re-releases, virtual consoles and stuff, I'm pretty much played most of the games on the Super Nintendo. But this is definitely one that everyone pretty much played, whether you had the console or not. So Yoshi's Island, which is gonna be for me, I didn't play too much of. I did play this later on. I do think the art style is amazing. I think it's actually one of the best in the series. I actually think that I do prefer, this because you play mainly as Yoshi, right? but I do prefer to play as mainly Super Mario riding Yoshi. But this one is a different take, and I think there's a lot of merit to this game, what it brought to the series. Excuse me. I'm gonna go here, B tier, and I think yeah, I think it could be argued this might be some people's favorite, but I think B is still very good for that. Super Mario Land never played. Super Mario Land 2 never played. I never owned an original Game Boy. I actually didn't get a Game Boy until the Game Boy Color, and then I got a Game Boy Advance like way after that. So I was kind of handheld versions of the games. Definitely up there for me. Let's see here. So Super Mario 64, absolute classic. First 3D Super Mario Brothers game, one of the first 3D games, and I mean, showcased the technology amazingly. I know people like to kind of give it some crap and stuff nowadays because of the the technology and the camera angles as well as like the graphics, but I mean, I feel like you can't really judge it based off that, especially maybe the camera angles, but not so much the graphics. Because I mean, it was the first outing for 3D, and I mean, Super Mario it never looked any better up to that point. So no 3D games ever looked better than up to Super Mario until after, obviously. So yeah, I mean, you got to give it. For me, I got to put it at the S tier, one of my favorites. And again, I never actually owned this game. I did have a Nintendo 64, but I actually got mine like 3 or 4 years after. I actually had a PlayStation a few years. PlayStation was actually the original PlayStation was actually my first console that I owned personally. So there's that. Let's see. I did play a little bit of Super Mario DS, but I didn't play it enough to really have an opinion. But I would say it's probably pretty similar to the original. But I'm gonna rank it down here. Super Mario Sunshine. Again, this one I ended up getting my GameCube kind of like 2 years after it came out, right around when Double Dash came out, Mario Kart Double Dash. So I think that was like 2003. So I never really played much of Sunshine. I did have a cousin that had it, and I played it with him. I did like the game. I do think it's a good game, and I do think it's a little probably underrated. And I played it a few months back, actually a few years back, and I liked it, but it wasn't really my style that I liked when it comes to Super Mario Brothers. So I would say B tier, but I do think it's still a very good game. I do think it's still a very good game. So I'm gonna put it here for now. Let's see, Super Mario Galaxy. I mean, this one is gonna be up there for me as well. Um, yeah, fantastic game. I think it's one of the best games ever made, actually. And I do think it's one of the best Super Mario games, especially in the 3D space. I never played 2, wanted to play it. It came out kind of after my Wii. I played a lot during that time, but diversified. Metroid Prime, Corruption, Wii Sports. Obviously, I played a lot of just different titles for the console, so I didn't get to play this one, but I've been wanting to play it over last few years, so hopefully I'll play it soon. New Super Mario Bros. I think this one initially was for the DS. I never had a DS. I didn't have too many of the handhelds, so that's gonna be a B. I did play it. I mean, I was excited when they announced it. I actually think it's probably an A for when it came out. I did play a little bit of it, but not too much. Too much. But the new Super Mario Brothers formula just seemed like it was awesome, and I enjoyed the time I had with it. So it's gonna be there. Super Mario Brothers, New Super Mario Bros. Wii. Never played it. Never played that one either. I did play a little bit of this one. I think this one was a little. I think it was a little lower than the first one because I played it with some friends, and it's pretty chaotic with four players. I don't know if you could get up to four in this one, first one, but I still think it's a solid game for what it is. I'm probably one of the only people that played Super Mario Run, and I played it for. I mean, it's for it's like an iOS or a smartphone kind of game. It was pretty fun. Um, it was just kind of a touch and go type of thing where you just press a button and he kind of goes. You can jump and stuff, but it was pretty cool for what it was. Kind of similar to a temple run, I think. But yeah, I mean, I still think it wasn't fantastic. It was just kind of all right. 3D Land. This one I know is one of the best ones, especially because it influenced a lot of 3D World. I didn't play this though. I did end up getting a 3DS, but this came out before I got one, and I never got to play it. But I have a friend that swears by it, so that's for him. He knows what he's talking about with this one. And again, it influenced this game, which this one, this right here is. I really feel like this is one of the best Super Mario games ever made, especially within like last decade and a half. It's gonna be up there right here for me. Again, I actually was one of the people that had a Wii U. I think this was one of the best games that they ever released, which isn't saying much because they didn't have too much. I've got a lot of topics on a lot of opinion on that, but I do think Wii U was underrated. But there was weird marketing and nobody really knew what it was. I personally didn't even really know what it was at first, but anyway, yeah, this if you haven't played this one, if any of these you haven't played, or if there's any game I would choose out of all these, if you haven't played, I would play this one because this one is just it's something different. It's fun with the friends, and it's just a lot going on here. The 3D aspect, yeah, definitely awesome. And then here is my uh, Super Mario Odyssey pick S tier. If you haven't played it, I mean, again, I don't even really know what to say about this one. This one just literally like this one. It's 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 just I don't even know how to put words into it. It's the best. Super Mario in a 3D version has never felt better than this one. So I mean, it was just a beautiful. This just game is just a beautiful experience. I almost can't verbalize it just because I don't want to take too much time here, but I mean it's one of my favorites. So that's my list here. Let me know what you guys think here. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Which ones are higher or lower for you? Are there games that you haven't played like me? Are there any ones you guys suggest that I'm missing out on? Please let me know. And please like and subscribe and let me know what you think. And hopefully you enjoyed the video. All right, thanks, guys. Later.